Good morning, Excellencies, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to welcome you to our conference entitled Collections from Colonial Contexts, Challenges, Tasks, Strategies, organized by the German Contact Point for Collections from Colonial Contexts. I'm very pleased that such an impressive number of international participants have joined us this morning, and I would like to extend a particularly warm welcome to you. One could say that on an international level, today's conference marks several different beginnings at the same time. First, it marks the establishment of the German Contact Point for Collections from Colonial Contexts at the Cultural Foundation of the German Federal State by the Federal Minister of State for Culture and the Media, the Federal Foreign Office, the German Federal States, the Länder, and the municipal umbrella organizations on August 1st, 2021. Second, this conference is the first in a series of workshops, roundtables, and international expert forums to be organized by the German Contact Point and intended to facilitate the exchange of knowledge and the joint development of strategies in the context of the German Contact Point's mandate. Third, and most importantly, today's virtual gathering is a first honest step in opening channels of communication and creating spaces of encounter in the spirit of mutual respect between the German Contact Point and you, the representatives of the countries and societies of origin. We are humbled by your willingness to talk to us because we understand that the injustices committed during the colonial era and their repercussions remain painful and a cause of suffering to this very day. At the same time, we want to acknowledge that without your insight, your advice, and your cooperation, every attempt on our part to accept and to act on our historical responsibility resulting from German colonialism will be futile. Therefore, we kindly and respectfully ask you to guide us through the maze of questions, challenges, and tasks ahead of us. We cannot do it without you. It has been a deliberate choice on our part to call today's online gathering a network conference. Upon the initiative and with the generous support of the Federal Minister of State for Culture and the Media, the network conference takes Germany's presidency of the Council of the European Union in 2020 as an opportunity to present the German Contact Point for Collections from Colonial Contexts to European and other international actors, to promote the networking of experts and expert institutions from the countries and societies of origin, Germany and Europe, and to identify future cooperation avenues for the German Contact Point. Today's panel discussions will focus on three areas of activity as defined in the framework principles for dealing with collections from colonial contexts. These areas of activity are: 1, transparency and documentation, 2, return, and 3, cultural exchange and international cooperation. Our three panels will be complemented with presentations by two key partner institutions of the German Contact Point, the Department for Cultural Goods and Collections from Colonial Contexts of the German Lost Art Foundation and the International Museum Cooperation Agency of the Federal Foreign Office. But first, we will be introduced to the mandate and work of the Federation Länder Working Group on dealing with collections from colonial contexts, a national committee of political and civil society stakeholders providing the political setting for the German Contact Point and closely monitoring its progress. Before I hand over to Dr. Claudia Rose, the Director General of the Department of Culture at the Ministry of Science, Research and Art in the state of Baden-Württemberg and co-chair of the Federation Länder Working Group, let me add a few brief words of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank the Federal Minister of State for Culture and the Media, the Federal Foreign Office, and the German federal states for jointly financing the German contact point, thereby demonstrating their political commitment to actively address the multiple challenges deriving from the presence of collections from colonial contexts in Germany. Thanks are also due to the municipal umbrella organizations, the German Lost Art Foundation, and the International Museum Cooperation Agency of the Federal Foreign Office for their active support as institutional partners of the German contact point. At the German contact point, my thanks go first and foremost to my colleague Maria Leonor Perez, who has been in charge of the Herculean task of planning and organizing this conference, and who has managed to put together a truly impressive roster of speakers and attendance. Maria Leonor Perez received support from my colleagues Kirstin Meyer and Dr. Leopold von Karlowitz at the German contact point. Shortly, you will meet Maria Leonor Perez and Leopold von Karlowitz in their additional roles as facilitators and rapporteurs of this conference. They will be joined by Dr. Michaela Stoffels of the Municipal Umbrella Organizations. Dr. Stoffels has kindly agreed to serve as a rapporteur for our first panel on transparency and documentation. Last but not least, let me thank our service provider Pool Group for their outstanding expertise and technical support.